The Coaches Show is brought to you by Highway 55, Burgers, Shakes, and Fries, Nunboys.com, and GPS Photography and Video, GPSPhotoandVideo.com. Welcome back to the Coaches Show. I'm Glenn Young alongside head women's basketball coach Sakellie Daniels. Part 2 of the Coaches Show. The Coaches Show is brought to you by Highway 55, Burgers, Shakes, and Fries, Nunboys.com, marketing, advertising, t-shirts, GPS Photography and Video, GPSPhotoandVideo.com. Coach, thanks for joining me. I know you got a busy schedule. Just talking with Coach Patterson. You guys are heading to Wilmington on Friday. Night before Thanksgiving. Schedule is tough, you know, as far as time management, I guess you say. 3-1 on the season. Lost by 6 last night to Southview.
Yes.
4 games in. You played one more than the boys have played. What have you seen so far about your team?
We're trying to find our composure. I'll say we're trying to, put together all the pieces that we have and figure out what are going to be our strong suits. Every game we've had has kind of been up and down. We haven't really found the chemistry to play a consistent way yet, but I feel like throughout these four games that we did learn a lot about ourselves.
So looking at the schedule, 40-37 win over Terry Sanford, 50-29 over 71st. 71st girls team look like they could be down this year, because I mean that's pretty huge. 57-53. Your team and the boys won by 1, you win by 4. I mean, Pine Forest is pretty good. Then, of course, last night, Southview, the 6-point loss. Do you feel like your team is right in there, though? I mean, in all these games, I mean, you're 3-1. It's no panic mode, but it's been 4 games.
Right.
How are you doing on the injuries?
Right now we have 1 injury. Hopefully she'll be coming off of injury. We're hoping the next week.
Okay, so she won't be playing Friday. Who was that that was injured?
Micaiah Davis.
Micaiah Davis.
Yeah.
Was it ankle or just?
Yes, ankle. But she's been out already almost 2 weeks, which was about the minimum of the time that she would be out. So pretty quickly here she'll be starting physical therapy, and we'll find out what her limitations are and how her mobility is, and see how close we'll be to getting her back on the court. So that'll definitely help us out with our guard depth.
Right. Well, after a long road stand, I call it a long road stand, you come in. It was good to get back home to Hope County and open up. Even though we ended up losing by 6, it was good to be in front of the home crowd for the first home opener. How have you handled foul trouble with your team so far? I mean, do you see anybody that, maybe I should play this person more? Is one of those things that we need to practice more foul shots? Is there a weakness that you see that the team needs to work on right now at this point, or are they going okay?
I think time is going to be what helps us. Becoming familiar with one another,
right?
Knowing each other's tendencies, and when you know those things, it makes it easier to play on the court. When you're playing a team that wants to play man defense,
right?
It has to be like hand and glove. Everybody has to be on one page. You got to know what player is going to be there to help, what player is stronger, which player you may need to be ready to help more, and things like that. So with the season starting very quick for us, that's going to take us getting more games on our belt. Holidays, having some good practices, and that's just a thing that'll take time.
23-game schedule. It's really challenging with basketball season. I mean, it's over the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. Is it hard to keep your teams focused getting through the holidays?
I think it's always difficult during the holiday period because you have such a big break.
Right.
And players, I think, would rather play games than practice any day.
Right.
So when you have a 2-week span where you might have 1 game or no games and just practice, I think that gets a little tiring. So it's definitely more mental, going through a period like that. But I think it'll work in an advantage for us since we'll have so many games on our belt. we'll be able to work on the things that we need to work on in great detail.
And the thing about it, because you have so many games, every other night you're playing, no time to get down. But what did you say to your team last night with their first loss?
I told them that it was a good loss because it came early and not too late. We saw some of the things that we seen in the 3 games prior.
Right.
Basically came back and haunted us on last night. So, you know, I think that we saw that the things we need to adjust and improve on will definitely keep us from winning or losing games.
Right.
So, you know, that's a good lesson to learn early.
But it wasn't a blowout. It was a close game. And those, do you find the close wins versus, I mean, when you get blown out the game, everything was wrong. You throw away that game plan. But when you get in the close games, are they tougher to take as a coach?
I think it's a good thing and a bad thing because you're right there.
Right.
So you feel like, you know, what could I have done to give us 7 more points?
Right.
But also it's a good thing because it shows even though you did do some things wrong, you were still very much so in the game, you know. So it works on both sides, but you know, no one likes to take a loss. Period.
Coach, talk to me about your roster. Who are your top 5 that have jumped out and done, I guess, as advertised, have done what you expected them to do?
Mahogany Matthews has been playing pretty consistent. She's going to take a big load with, you know, leading the team and probably scoring and rebounding because she's one of our biggest players.
Right.
And in the guard position, Jaquay Bradshaw has done very well, keeping her composure throughout the games that we've had. Been seeing a lot of pressure, so she's been bouncing back, and I see her getting better as the games go along, as far as, you know, handling the pressure that the opponents are giving us. Shalea Maynard has been doing very well.
Maynard, that's a familiar name.
Yes.
But Hope County.
Stepping up and, you know, starting on the varsity level.
Right.
And, you know, with the Florida game being a lot quicker, she's done well adjusting to that. And Janiyah Harrington has been doing pretty good. And Denia Watkins is our motor. Right. As she goes, the team goes.
And that's huge when you talk about that chemistry and who keeps the team going. Overall, it was good to be home. I mean, as I told Coach Patterson, I mean, you have the middle school coaches out there, school superintendent, middle school principals. I mean, it was exciting. It's always good to be home. But the community and you know, the crowd is really behind the team. So, I mean, a lot of good things to expect out of the women's basketball team because they hadn't been doing so well for a while, but they're definitely back. Now, coaches, I just talked to Coach Patterson, of course. Y'all go down to Wilmington on Friday. You cut the kids loose. Did you meet with the team today at all, or just last night was your meeting?
Last night we met, and you know, we talked a little bit about the game, and we talked about the importance of the tournament coming up, and we decided to give them a little time to take a mental break. We played 4 tough games in a short span of time. I think it's important to take
a week. I mean, you played 4. I mean, and you had just played your first one. We had the first coaches show. You played 3 games. I mean, that's sort of tough.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, kids finishing up tests and everything before the break. When they come back, they're gonna get ready for finals. So it's something.
Yeah.
So everybody will be with Thanksgiving tomorrow, of course. What time will the team meet with Friday? Because you and the boys are traveling to Wilmington together.
Yes.
What's the schedule? Y'all gonna keep pretty much the same?
Yeah, we'll come in Friday morning before we leave and spend about an hour together.
Okay.
And probably just tighten up on some offenses.
You do a shoot around then, or just do?
Yeah, we'll probably shoot around a little bit and just tighten up a few strategies that we'll try to change change with some concepts that we have in our defense, and you know, pointing out some of the things in our offense that we want to look for a little more, and then we'll get ready to hit the road.
Right. So I call it like a holiday tournament on Friday. You're playing West Brunswick as well, so you guys will play Friday and Saturday.
Yes.
Staying overnight.
Yes.
What's that gonna be like? I mean,
hopefully not too crazy.
yeah, I
But,
mean,
you know,
and that's something different from
13,
basketball too,
14
because
girls.
the guys as well.
Yeah.
Don't put it all off on the girls, but I'm sure they'll be fine and very mature as well. But you know, football, we don't get to. We were going to the playoffs right now, and we were talking earlier with the Coach Patterson. You know, it's tough. Everybody's got to get ready to play on Friday. They might be staying overnight, but you guys get to stay overnight. You're traveling, getting invited to all these tournaments. It's almost like you got football and you got basketball. Which do you think is the most popular? Because when you look in the span of college and you look in the span of high school, football, basketball, baseball, those three programs really bring your school together throughout the year and bring in the most money.
Right.
But I mean, and obviously you like basketball.
Love it.
But I mean, it's something to see.
I think basketball wins. One main reason I say that is because it doesn't matter what the weather is, you can always play.
You're always inside, yeah.
And the fans
There's
can
no
always
rain.
be comfortable,
Exactly.
and the players can be comfortable.
Exactly. There's no outside basketball game.
Right.
Except in summer. But,
So I
you know.
think we got a point up there.
Okay. Well, Coach, thanks for talking to me. I'm going to let you get out so you can go celebrate with your family for Thanksgiving. As always, we'll see you next week.
All right, thanks for having me.
That's going to do it for this week at Highway 55, the Coaching Show, every Wednesday right here at 7 o'clock. Come down and check us out. Enjoy the holiday with Thanksgiving with your family. And we'll see you next week right here. Take care.